Alright. Hopefully you guys can hear me. One person connected so far. I'll let a couple more people roll in first. Let me start this on, let's see, the Bitcoin index chart. Just gonna turn that music down a smidge. Out to the daily. First thing that I think I'm going to cover is the macro resistance line. So what was resistance? Basically back here became support over here in the following year. So it's like a high time frame structural support resistance line. Important point of structure that was lost literally a couple of days ago. Right here, we lost it, and now we're below it. So potentially what's on the cards is a back test of that support resistance line. I think that is like the prime scenario that we have to, or the prime situation that we have to contend with as we're trying to climb back up or bounce off this 60k low that was set in. What's up, Honest? So let me go down to a lower time frame. So you can see on the daily, that yellow line is sort of a very key level that I'm tracking. 4-hour chart, we haven't quite got back there yet. You can see if you jump down a couple more, there was somewhat of a reaction at the zone here, and then almost again here, but it just, yeah, it slipped, could not hold it as support, and a bounce came in. I'm going to look at why that bounce happened where it did, see if there's any reason behind it. But yeah, obviously it was a round number. On this chart, it's 60,185. That's the index chart, but I believe on this chart, which is Binance Bitcoin Tether, it was 60,000 on the dot. So right now there has been like obviously a beautiful hammer candle on the hourly right here, and then you have this amazing Maribozu, this strong bullish candle right here to continue that bullish idea, and then the trend has just stayed up ever since then on that time frame. So I'm going to jump back to this. Now that we've got the big picture, we know what we're contending with. The trend is still down, in my opinion, of course, even though we've bounced back more than $10,000. I'll show you why. So you had basically a low here, a high, which was a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, so on and so forth. So you can see that the last significant pivot, you could even say that this was here. This was the last significant pivot here, this red line, which is essentially, it's bet to round it up, $72,000, $71,889 on this chart. So there's been no like structure change just yet. Could it happen? It could totally happen, but it just not yet. There's evidently it's finding a little bit of trouble here. So the next thing is to zoom down or go down in time frames, like because we're on the hourly, and just see if 70,000 will hold, or 69 basically. See if that holds as an idea to go and attack these levels once more. But so far it's proving to be difficult. Let's go down to the 15. 5 minute. Yeah, it's starting to roll a little bit. The problem with it is you've had a high, and now you've got like two technically lower highs here. So that can indicate a rollover when you start getting those features like lower highs. You can see on the dramatic up part of the trend, all of the highs were higher than the prior high. So that's the rhythm you want to keep for punching through resistance strong with strength. This could just be a consolidation. Like you could be calling this like a bull, like a wedge, a bullish wedge, or pennant, whatever you want to label it. That's what it could be working on. If you start to break this low here, then you start talking about bull flags like this. That's the next sort of basic chart pattern idea to come up later on. But flags, as you know, can get invalidated. So what I would be doing, track this trend line here, because that's basically where the local pivots have come in so far. I'm going to change this to a different color just so you can see it. Okay, and then you want to know what the parallel is, which is basically there, because this could become a flag. And also, we haven't had a second low yet. So we've had this first low, but we want to know where this next one turns around. So if it happens here, then what I would do is connect up those two lows, for example, like that. And then you're tracking, then you've got more of a structure of where this shape falls. So for right now, I don't know where that line's gonna live until we get the pivot. So whatever this pullback becomes, it may come down here, find support and come up, or it could pull up right now and then go up. So we just have to wait. We have to wait for the confirmation. It's a good start if this trend line can get broken, but so far it's established because you've got a swing and then another swing here. There was an attempt at a swing like here. So basically it is okay to adjust your lines provided that you get more information. So once you get more candles, you know, you adjust to get a read on what's happening, basically. So the reason, like, I'll show you what I mean by that. Like, at the time, I had this set like that because of this high here, this wick high. But that wasn't like a prime pivot, if you ask me, like, because there was no long-term directional change. It only lasted like 20 minutes of this little downshift, and then you had a secondary one here. But you can see that this one is becoming more significant of a pivot than whatever this was here. If you see what I mean. But yeah, some might see that as, oh, you're changing the goalposts, but it's not. It's what you're trying to do is read the chart with all of the new information that is on the scene, essentially. Just to answer that criticism. Delete that line. So right now, this isn't, so this line down here, which is the parallel of, it's simply the parallel of the top. That isn't in play just yet. It could be. So what I'll do, I'll make it like a darker gray, just so it's not the focus. But once again, this is what we're working with right now. Obviously that can change depending on where the next low gets set in. Descending triangle, it would look something like that, of course. But yeah, let's see what happens. What's up, buddy? Buddy Langford. Got 9 people. It's been 12 minutes. I did plan to sort of keep this pretty short and sweet, like 10, 15, maybe even 20 if I wanted to push it, but this was just basically to try and be a little bit more consistent with checking in and doing streams, especially after all this drama that we've had in the price. Like, we've had so many collapses lately, a lot of corrective moves. So here's my other chart. It's the same structures, but it's just got a couple more details on it. There's that $72,000 resistance. And right now, yeah, we're just trying to, here's that triangle idea that I had drawn in before earlier. It was starting to suggest a break here, but that all just became wick and we're back underneath. So, like I said, adjusting for new information, I would be dragging that to there. And that's probably going to be about as much definition as I need on the top side. There's obviously a trend line down here too, so there's a pivot here which runs into a pivot here, and scribing that out forward, you can see it's trying to hold right now, that same line. And then there's this top side one which is kind of flipped, so you've got resistance, resistance, a little bit of resistance here, and then it finally broke, and it's used it now twice, arguably almost twice, as support here and here. So there's a little bit of a crossroads happening here. There's a massive intersection of lines, and including the $70,000 price level, which we're currently basically at. And right now it is a quarter past the hour. So the first 15-minute candle of this hour is about to close. Let's jump up to the 15-minute chart. It's a DOGE. And we just got a fresh 15-minute. Let me hide the candles, just make sure that's the case. Yeah, it was a DOGE. Okay, back under 70. So now it's, yeah, at this crossroads moment, it's like, who's in control right now? Are the bulls in control? Like, is the buying feverish and strong? It has been, but it kind of has stalled out. And now it's like, okay, well now what? Who's going to take the next chapter? And I think there is still a case for the bulls to have a little bit more activity, but once again, we're contending with 72k level, the big macro high, which was this yellow line that I mentioned earlier at the start of the stream, and that is this SR level. This is like a very big macro resistance and support line here. You can see there's the support that came in, here's the resistance that came in. And look how much time was spent on price getting to that support, and then how much time spent after bouncing at that level. So that's what makes it significant. It's like, how much time did it take going into it and then coming out of it? So that's why these are so key. Like, you spent all this time coming up to it and then all this time falling away from it. This is months, by the way, that section there. So this is why I'm stressing this so much, is that this level here is quite structurally important right now. Just as this level was back in the last cycle, $30,000. Now you can either call it a level or a zone, like something like that. And you can see what happened. Like, you had supporter at it. It tried to hold that level, became a flag, a bear flag, and you fell through it. So arguably through that zone, you just couldn't get any bulls to break the resistances to rally up. So anyway, correction. Now look at this, resistance, resistance, and then finally it breaks later on. But yeah, that's just an example of these big high time frame support resistance levels that we're currently dealing with right now. So for my opinion, I obviously the trend is still down. You probably caught in my previous recent streams that I had a target for a 1-to-1 move. I'll bring that up if I've got it. I think it's on this chart. Downside target. Let me hide some of these other things. Go ahead and hide all of that for now. Hide. Now where's this fib coming from? Okay, that's the downside target thing. Good. Alright, so if I zoom out on the daily, and you should be able to see the fib levels. Now this is a Fibonacci extension, not a retracement. And basically it's like a big old Harry Potter lightning bolt. And there is the 1-to-1 move down here. So that target is $52,324. And I'm calling that a zone. You can see I've typed it in here, 1-to-1 measured move zone. So it's just a measure of, I feel like the Elliott wave guys are probably going to say this is not an ABC, but whatever. I'm not trying to be Elliott here, but A, B, and then C. So A and C of being of equal length sends us to 52,000. That's the only reason I'm sort of like looking at that level. It's also a recheck of these lows here that came in back in 2024. So I think, yeah, that should produce a lot of buying in this area. I'm not saying that that's going to be the bottom of the market, but I just think it's a significant level to test. Now to talk about the last thing I'll cover before I wrap it up, I'm going to talk about the cycles real quick. So we've got highs and lows and halvings on this thing. And I may as well delete all those other things. We don't need them for this. But if I jump out on the weekly chart, I'll put it on logarithmic so you can see everything, absolutely everything of Bitcoin. But that was the first halving. So all the orange lines halvings, all the green lines all-time highs, and all the red lines are the bear market lows that were set in for those cycles. If you check the distances, oh, static, thank you, super chat, $2. But yeah, check it out. Like, distance between the green and the red, which is all-time high to bear market lows, all of equal distance in timing. So this is this cycle theory that, you know, I have noticed, like, through the crypto community, a lot of people don't like this because it doesn't keep the market bullish when they want it to be bullish. But I mean, the chart is the chart, and it's, you know, it's setting in a rhythm here. This is this quote-unquote 4-year cycle, and it's still on par. Like, it has not broken. You've probably heard of people saying that the cycle's going to break. It hasn't broken. It's still completely intact, and quite precisely too. It's very precise. You can see that so precise, in fact, that you can extrapolate, you can project future events, like low. See how I've got a question mark there? I've got bear low with a question mark, fifth halving, question mark, all-time high, question mark. These are all in the future. Like, this is end of this year, mid next year. 2028, not next year, 2028. And then late 2029 is a projected all-time high. And then look, 2 more cycles all-time high will come in 2033 in August. Like, that's how, you know, this is just a projection in time. So it's really not that complicated. I know it's kind of boneheaded, and this is not something that I worked out. This is a very common pattern that has been talked about for years now, and it's amazing to see it get followed with that much precision, like to where the top came in here. But yeah, I encourage you to check it out. Check out the timing of days. I did do a measure on this. I've got it in a folder. So low to high measures. So you can see how close these days are. Look, these are from low, bear market low, to all-time high for that cycle, 1,064 days. 1,064 days again. 1,050. I mean, that's pretty close. It's not perfect like the previous two, but now let me just check the other folders. So you can see the precision there. High to low. So this is the length of the bears. 413, 364, 378. So roughly a year. Roughly a year. This one was basically a year, 364. A little longer than a year, this one, but you get the picture. Low to low. This one's quite precise as well. So this is bear market to bear market. You can see the numbers. This hasn't happened yet. This is me assuming the distance. Now this number that I picked here, 1435, that is just the average between these two lengths here. It's just splitting the difference between the two. So on average, it should hit around October of this year, late October, maybe early November, is when the projected cycle low will come in. And then what else do we have? High to high. So bull market high to bull market high. Look at that. This is very... So between the 2017 high to the 2021 high, it was 1428 days. Now, from the 69K high to the current all-time high is 1428 days, like on the day. It's a complete eclipse. Like it's eclipse, the same, you know, it's lined up perfectly, just like the moon covers the sun. Not to get all planetary on you, but yeah, that's pretty much all I was going to say about the macro. So everything's on time and on schedule. I will make videos. I will scream it from the mountaintops if this breaks. If anything out of here happens unusual or out of the ordinary, I'll be talking about it. But yeah, until then, you may as well track it because it's pretty damn useful to understand this and track its progress. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. It's gone for like 25 minutes now, so that's long enough to get the message across. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, and remember to smash up the like button. Thanks for the other super chat, by the way, Static. That super chat cost me all of my B funds. Okay. Yeah. What did we get? How many viewers did we get this one? 14. That's awesome. So there are people kicking around, so that's cool. Now, one quick little tip. If you are the type of person that likes to go back through charts and check historical bars, like I found this little helpful way to get more information if you're not paying for TradingView. If you don't have a TradingView subscription and you want to see more information, because look, it runs out on the free version. See, you have to basically buy a subscription to get more bars to show. So jump across to Binance.com and just open their Bitcoin Tether spot chart, and you can go back. You can go way back. Now look, this goes all the way back to 2017, and this is the hourly. Oh wait, hang on a minute. Let me go hourly. Anyway, you just get a hell of a lot more bars of history on the Binance.com website. All right, I'll leave it at that. So thank you for tuning in again, and yep, we're still on trend. We're still in the downtrend. So act accordingly, I guess, until it breaks. All right, have a good one.